How we doing, fellas? Quarantine Taste Test 2020 episode 2. Pretty good Saturday up here in Five Coachman. It's about 50 degrees. Good day to get yard work done. I think most everyone did that today, or at least thought about doing it, which is basically the same. So, did a lot of yard work. Hands still dirty. It's good for the soul. But after some yard work, I'm kind of feeling like a couple IPAs. So we're gonna taste test head-to-head match-off, consistency with the brands again. We're going Stoneface. We're gonna go Stoneface. We're doing single IPAs. Okay, so we got Laser Background, experimental IPA, and then we've got Unicorn Forklift. Crazy name. Looks like a kid's drink, but supposed to be pretty good. So we're going to test this out. Also experimental IPA from Stoneface. Before we get going though, should have a little conversation about IPA. Everyone kind of knows what that stands for, right? India Pale Ale. Some controversy about who started IPA, how it got started. So good dialogue here. So back in the 1800s, the British had some colony presence in India, and the folktale goes something like this: that they couldn't bring beers over there because they would spoil on their trip over, so they needed something that would they created something. It's not obviously IPA. Not entirely true, actually. IPA was already invented in 1760 in Britain. There was a big push where brewers were told, if you want to drink beers in a warmer climate, if you're going to be doing that, you should have a hop beer and add more hops to that beer. Makes sense, right? Who wants to have a porter when you're sitting in poolside, right? So it wasn't that IPA was invented to last over the ships. From my understanding, actually beers would last over the ships, and the beers would also be higher content than your standard IPA, like a porter and things like that. So interesting note there. There is some credit that's probably falsely being given to a person named Hodgson. He owned a brewery in London, Bow Brewery, who really popular brewery, obviously probably not a lot of breweries and around in 1780, and he supplied a lot of the pale ales for the soldiers that would go over to India to drink. What they called those beers was pale ale developed for India. That's what the name was. Not until, I believe it was 1835, so fast forward whatever, 50 years, a newspaper from Liverpool called it East India Pale Ale, where it started to get its name. Once the railroads started beginning to build outside of London in England, that's where people like Bass came in and gave Hodgson from Bow Brewery some more competition. I think shortly in like 1850 or something, he was gone, and he's been given credit to creating IPA when actuality it was already created. It's just he was one of the only brewers at the time to supply for the soldiers. So interesting fact there. You can double check me. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. But we'll figure that out later. So let's do a little update on where we're at for these beers. Laser Background, 7.2. I picked these two IPAs because they're both made from Denali hops. However, Laser Background, I believe, is Denali and Citra, whereas Unicorn Forklift is primarily just Denali. Couple differences. 7.2. I believe this one is 6.7. Also on the IBU scale, International Bitters Uniting, which is in essence how bitter a beer is. Unicorn is pretty low. It's at 21. This is at 55. I read an article the other day where Dogfish is making a 650 or made a 650 beer. Can't remember the name of it. It's kind of stupid, but that's what they do. So maybe we can taste test that. But we're gonna get cracking beers Saturday afternoon, almost evening. Tired from yard work. Probably the majority of us are. Nothing like cracking a couple IPAs. Spring day by the fire, and we're gonna figure out which we like more. Solid? Sound like a plan? Okay, let's do it. All right, let's go laser background first. We'll open these bad boys up. Sound a success right there after a day. Just gonna pour a little here. By the way, while I'm pouring these, Matthew James Durkee texted me today that he got his stimulus check. Parallel to those texts, he was asking me if certain prices on fill were good deals. So no doubt he is already spending that stimulus check, so our economy should be in good shape. So that's great. All right, so laser background right here, coloring, and then unicorn left. Okay, so clearly unicorn is much more orange juice forward. Looks like it's gonna taste orangey. It's gonna taste pineapple. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, it smells very fruit forward. Laser background. It's almost like dank. It's like a dank beer. We'll do East Coast versus West Coast IPAs. We'll also do double IPAs. We'll explain how America took basically the 1800 IPA and put it on steroids. But yeah, this is danker. All right, we're gonna go laser background first. 7.2, 55 IBUs, Denali and Citra hops. One sip, everyone knows the rules. It's good. It's good. It's good solid beer. It's not wowing me. It's definitely dank. It's basically like a like an everyday IPA, but not like Founders, like 4% everyday IPA. Kind of makes me feel like it's like an improved Smutty Nose. It's pretty good. It's good. It's good. It's experimental. I would not put it as my flagship IPA if I had a brewery. Man, that smells really good. All right, unicorn. One sip, everyone knows rules. Oh yeah, it's a lot of pineapple, a lot of tropical fruit. A little easier to drink. Heavier. Definitely heavier on the belly. That's good. That's good. You might be wondering my rating scale for beers. I'm going to say that a 10.0 is basically like the first time you ever had a double IPA, New England style IPA, like 8, 9, 10 years ago, or if you had King Julius from Treehouse. That's kind of the bar, if that makes sense. Okay, that's good. All right, unicorn. I'm coming in at a solid 8.0. 8.0 on the unicorn, and laser background, I'm going like 6.9, 7.0, 6.95. Call it even. So obviously I'm going to finish the laser background, but I'll probably have a couple unicorns tonight, and I hope you guys have a good evening. I hope you guys stay safe, and enjoy your Saturday nights, and happy Easter tomorrow morning too. We'll see you.